Thanks for joining Veiled Mystic today as we examine the cryptid dragon Zmeu. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. The mythic Romanian dragon Zmeu. Emerging from Romanian and wider Balkan folk mythology on vampires, werewolves and diverse fairy creatures, an intriguing draconic shapeshifter figure known as the Zmeu stands apart by exhibiting both benevolent and malevolent capacities through its cunning supernatural interactions with humans. The enigmatic Zmeu's complex symbology casts certain parallels with Perseus-style heroic questing facing magical adversaries in tales of love, power and transgression, weaving this cryptid's legends across Central European lands. Morphology and origins. The Zmeu's physical attributes largely conform to the quintessential dragon template: giant serpentine body structure propelled by four legs sometimes bearing separate taloned feet or hooves, formidable scales, drastic strength, flight enabled either by feathered wings or supernatural forces, equally at ease dwelling in remote wilderness caves or earthen nesting burrows, acute faculties for hunting prey and sensing specific human psycho-emotional states exploited for predatory or protective reasons. Fiery breath also commonly features in abilities allowing the Zmeu to incinerate threats or project destructive metaphysical energy as a generalist magician among its species. Slavic linguists trace the name Zmeu back to common Slavic roots like serpent and snake underlying Eastern European mythological vocabulary on dragons. The root carries additional derivative meanings as dangerous, creeping menacingly that reinforce connotations linked with this particular dragon. Theories differ whether Zmeu initially referred to personified storms attacking crops and challenging heroes to primal contests or earthly materializations of negative cosmic entities and fallen angels representing draconian forces opposing divine beneficence in ancient proto-historical struggles. In some Paleo-Balkan lore transposed onto later Christianized folk saints, the Zmeu serpent imagery connected with ancestral guardian spirits and remnants of pagan snake cults that endured through the region spanning eras. Physical traits and abilities similar to traditional dragon spanning cultures worldwide, the Zmeu exhibits extraordinary physicality and command over natural elements in addition to shapeshifting prowess that enables disguise for infiltrating communities to prey upon young maidens or fortune seekers greedy for promised riches. Accounts commonly endow a Zmeu with elongated body structure in bright green, gold and silver coloration camouflaging movement, ability to shift between humanoid facades concealing its true draconian anatomy, lustering opalescent scales sometimes morphing colors to facilitate hypnotic influence, glittering inky eyes projecting psychic vampiric rays that enthrall victims lured by the Zmeu's call, wings supporting flight yet fold to conceal during ground interactions, sharp rending horns, claws and fangs for attack as well as burrowing dens, potential mild echolocation through hissing tongue and subtle temperature sensing pits, affinity commanding electrical atmospherics like thunderstorms, whirlwinds and mist veils obscuring perception that respond to emotional states. Zmeu's behaviors. Relative to many ordinary dragons portrayed as largely hostile, the Zmeu diverges into idiosyncratic nuanced behaviors and temperaments more reflective of capricious fairy folk or god personalities found across Indo-European lore. Despite fearsome damage capacity, they follow complex motives transcending raw brutish domination of territory and greedy material hoarding by also demonstrating remarkable intellect and cunning through years of accumulated lore on supernatural arts and cosmic phenomena. Keenly developed psychic intuition piercing through astral realms and human minds to determine desire and fears ripe for manipulation. Compulsive hedonistic seductiveness targeting young fertile maidens for offspring propagation. Patient cunning able to strategically assess unfolding intentions over months when patiently stalking favored prey. Advanced hypnotic abilities to psychically entrance and immobilize people. Certain codes of honor regarding oaths of promised rewards to peasants. Courtly deceptions for offspring. The most iconic behavior patterns Zmeu engage involves aggressive courting stratagems targeting young isolated maidens for purposes of mating propagation. Over weeks the Zmeu patiently seduces a selected fertile virgin through appearing around her farm home in comely human guise concealing true dragon anatomy with illusory glamour magic. The disguised Zmeu lavishes the unsuspecting woman with affection, wealth and flattery until she agrees to a secret marriage away from any possible intervention by relatives or clergy. After consummation and impregnation, the Zmeu abruptly abandons the ruse once achieving its subversive reproductive aim. The now pregnant woman suffers community backlash over the illegitimate conception as church authorities intervene while the Zmeu retreats to its remote lair or interdimensional nesting pocket. Months later, the Zmeu sometimes returns to claim guardianship rights over any supernaturally gifted offspring inheriting mixed genetics exhibiting telepathic or pyrokinetic abilities requiring a cryptid's mentorship until the child reaches maturity and sufficiently blends into human society. Vampiric predation. The folkloric chronicle Dracula, penned by Bram Stoker, drew substantial inspirations from researching Balkan tales on diabolic entities like the vampire Strigoi that defiled sacrosanct taboos through supernatural parasitism and murder, violating the sanctity of life force itself. The Zmeu certainly inspired aspects of that famous archetype, given similar preferences for hypnotic seduction targeting maidens, interstitial existence between human and beastly realms, general defiance of divine authority, and psychic theft of vital energies that could cause ailing health in victims surviving an assault by this wily shapeshifter. Reports from Romanian villages into the 20th century warned of a devil beast with relucent green skin and flaming tongue glimpsed by terrified travelers near the Carpathian mountains that paralyzed prey before feeding. While actively nocturnal, the Zmeu, requisite for unfiltered solar exposure, may prompt cave-dwelling habits with quick opportunistic ambushes seized when ionospheric conditions permit safely moving about by daylight. Locals placed garlic bulbs and crucifix emblazoned doors around home entries, believing the pungent aroma and emblems might discourage occult threats. For uprooting crops and ensorceling minds, the Zmeu menace seemingly still endures in cultural memory. The dramatic ecological biodiversity loss and ethical concerns surrounding genetic hybridization provide a modern lens for interpreting the complex interplay between Romanian villagers and Zmeu through the centuries. Beyond simple fairy tales reducing truth to mundane explanations, the cosmic pluralism and supernatural potency infusing much ancestral mythology surely still holds meaning and wisdom for times ahead, as our arrogance again encounters more sentient forces from seen and unseen natures.